So now that we've gone over some of the myths and dispelled them, and we've gone over the benefits, and you see that of why we invest in land, and we've also discussed what type of people sell to us and why they sell to us at a discount. Now the question is, well, what do we invest in? What are the types of land that we invest in? And again, this goes back to what I talked about, that a lot of people focus on just two different things. They kind of look at only properties that can be developed, large properties that can be split up and developed, or properties that they're going to land bank, or ones that basically are in the path of growth and that they're going to sit on for a long amount of time. And then from there, they are going to sell them down the road, for a much higher amount of money. So that is not what we do regularly. Don't get me wrong, there are properties that we have split up. There's also properties that we've just bought and sat on knowing what was going to happen with them, but that is not the vast majority of our business. When we actually look at our business and what we invest in, we really focus on three different types of property. And one of the things that I'll encourage you to do here as you're watching this and as you're listening to this is to open up some sort of mapping software like Google Maps or something similar and actually take a look, and you'll see what it is that I am speaking about here. So the first type of properties that are investable are called infill lots, and basically what these are these are just the lots that are basically left over in developed areas. So if you were to look at a major city anywhere in the country, as you get just outside of the downtown metro area where there's no land, right? When you're getting just outside of that and you're starting to get into where the houses are, getting into the suburbs and that whole area right there, what you're going to see is that most of those areas are completely developed, except there will be some vacant lots here or there around that area. That being the case, those lots are called infill lots, and those are ones where basically everything's already in place. There's water, there's sewer, there's electricity, there's all the utilities are there that are around, and that for some reason or another just haven't been built on yet. So these are obviously not lots that there's a ton of, but they are the easiest lots to sell, right? You usually have to pay a little bit more for them, but they are the easiest lots to sell. Oftentimes builders will come along and actually pick them up from you. So that's one type of lot. The next type of lot is as you're getting a little bit further away from that. You start getting a little bit beyond the suburbs, and you notice that the lots that the house is on, two things happen. You see, one, they start to get a little larger, and then you also notice that there's more and more of them that have not been built on yet. Generally speaking, these lots are a little larger. They usually start around an acre and they can go up to a few acres, 5 acres, somewhere in there. And so those lots are ones where you're still relatively close to that city. Maybe now you're only an hour away or 45 minutes, something like that. You're not that far away from that city. You don't quite have all the amenities that the other lots did. Right now you're focusing on ones where you're still very close to the grocery store and things like that, but maybe a little bit further from like the museums, the airports, things like that, okay? But these are lots that you're looking down at, and you look at the area and you see that there's a good percentage of them that are still vacant. And so because of that, you're able to pick these up and people are willing to buy them. But at this point, they're starting to get a little bit larger. And then as you get even further out, you get into the third type. Now you're getting further and further away. Maybe now you're 100 miles plus away from a major city. And at that point, the lots start to get much larger. And this is where we've done deals that the lots are 10 acres, 20 acres, 60 acres, 100 acres plus in very rural land where literally there's hardly any homes around those areas. And so basically the rule of thumb that you're seeing here as you're looking along is that they all work. We've invested in all of them, but the further that you get away from the built up area, the larger that the property becomes. And if you follow that general rule of thumb, you'll do well, because if you look inside of the metro area and everything is tiny and you've got a property that's 30 acres, it's going to be worth millions and millions and millions of dollars, and you're not going to be able to do anything with it. Conversely, if you go further out and all the properties are 30, 50, 100 acres and you've got an acre of land, it's really not worth anything. So basically the three types of properties, and they just get larger as you go along, and all of them present good investment opportunities, right? The first ones sell a little bit quicker, but they're more expensive to pick up. They sell a lot quicker, I should say, but they're harder to pick up. The middle ones are kind of the best of everything around, right? You can get them still at a good deal. They're a little slower to sell, but still pretty quickly. And then you get the ones that are further out that sell a little bit slower, sell for less than value, but very easy to pick up because there's just so much of it out there. So that is the three different types of land that we invest in.